Welcome back, one and all, to the beautiful Marietta Ice Center here in Marietta, Georgia. It is I, once again, one half of the Super Gamecast brothers, Matt Leonard, alongside my play-by-play lovin' redheaded brethren, Andrew Leonard. How you doing, buddy?
I was doing fine until that intro.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me inform you of what's about to go down here. This is the
Please, let me
second
know.
of a two-game series between your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers. Yesterday was quite the display of physicality, Andrew, and it was a high-scoring game all around. Let's see if the second game can live up to the hype as we prepare for the puck drop.
Well, if it's anything like yesterday, Matt, the action should start up right around end of first period, early second period. But we'll see if we can follow any patterns as the Chargers win the opening faceoff, but Bright rushes down to gather. Bright, an attempted backhanded pass to Spicinski, goes a little bit wide, and Bright sends it all the way back around the boards for the Chargers. Pushed out now to neutral zone. 5-4 in the middle, but it's UAH that ends up controlling it. And we have an offsides. So, 18 seconds into the game, we already have the first call. It is an offsides for a neutral zone faceoff, so if the refs call it anything like last game, they're going to let the boys play until about 6 people from each team go into the box at once.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be goalie on goalie, and I'm really looking forward to that, Andrew.
We'll see if Thurston can put up some numbers. Tristan Gagne now back behind Thurston and gives it on up along the left side to Evan Deere. Deere feeds it up through to Bright, who passes on in around the boards to Deere. Deere now in the corner. Gets stripped of the puck by the Chargers, and that is Wierzkowski for the Chargers, and they end up with it and push a neutral ice, and we have a call. What is that, ref?
He called something. A hand pass, I believe.
Hand pass on, I think it was Wierzkowski, yeah.
It's Wierzkowski.
Wierzkowski.
There you go. Well done.
Working
You're
on
doing it. Congratulations.
Hey, I'll get there.
Eventually.
Offensive zone face-off for the KSU Owls. It's Ian McDonald coming in to take this one. Puck drops, and it is Frank that wins that one for the Chargers. KSU now with control. It's Vanna Kirchhoff to Davis. Davis at neutral ice. Nice little move. Dumps it on into the zone and gets a check there from Frank. The Chargers now with possession on the right side circle off the leg of Testina, who tries to feather it back through but cannot. A good check there by Tristan Gagne. Stands up Frank, and now we have a 2-on-1 for the Chargers. A shot on goal is caught and held by Luke Thurston, his first save of the night.
Good job of the Chargers there by sliding past that defensive physicality from Kennesaw State and putting a quality chance on goal there first of the day. And I'll tell you what, I hope that doesn't continue, because if it does, I might be in trouble.
We'll see how that goes as Ian McDonald takes another face-off and gives it on back to Bright. Bright along the left side to Vanna Kirchhoff, and tips it on up to McDonald, who fakes it past Testino and takes it himself, but eventually gives it up. Testino, a shot off the back of the boards, and McDonald comes in to gather. Ian McDonald in the trapezoid off the boards back to the point for Berezinski with a slap shot on goal, but it's tipped up and over the net before it can reach the goaltender. Vanna Kirchhoff on the left side circle gathers it himself and goes back to the point, but eventually gives it on over to the corner for Testino, who loses it to Horton. Zach Horton for the Chargers, but it gives on back to Berezinski at the high point. A pass on over to Vanna Kirchhoff with the shot on goal off of the face mask of Reichel, and there's a stoppage in play.
Going to have an offensive zone face-off here for the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls, I believe.
Yeah, the net got knocked off of its mount right there.
Yes, indeed. That sneaky, sneaky net. That was having some trouble. That side of the ice, that net seemed to pop off rather readily. So hopefully that
As for a couple games, as Aaron...
Yeah, hopefully that can be remedied. Thank you for letting me finish, Andrew.
I got you. Don't worry about it. Aaron Tisdale comes over the face-off. It is Wierzkowski that takes it. Tisdale, an off-angle shot, goes through the blue paint and over to the boards. Moran there with a good piece of stick work, and eventually goes it on back to the corner. Moran coming in, and it ends up in the possession of Hayes on the far side corner. A shot in front is stopped by a skate of a Charger, but eventually controlled by Berezinski, who throws it straight back into the zone. Moran coming over along the boards, chasing it down, but cannot get there in time as it goes around the boards for Berezinski. Berezinski over through to Hayes, but the Chargers, Wierzkowski has possession of it. A pass up through the center of the ice. It is Kappa that comes on through in a KSU zone. A shot on goal is blocked away by Luke Thurston, and Kappa collects his own rebound. Berezinski tries his best to get on over to Hayes, but cannot do so. Centering pass is stopped in front by Bright. Attempted rebound is turned away, and now it is Tisdale moving up ice. Aaron Tisdale, a slap shot goes off of the foot of Wierzkowski. Again, I don't know how they just shake that off. It seems like it would hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it'd probably sting, leave a bruise. Ooh.
Attempted check there by Wierzchowski is stifled there by Tisdale as he knocks him to the ice instead.
Andrew, one of these days you're going to actually remember that it's Wierzchowski. But
Doing
that's
my
okay.
best. Berezynski, a shot, an attempted rebound goes in front, and Bright attempts to reach for it, cannot get there in time. Deer, a backhanded pass, is stopped by the Chargers and ends up in possession of Deer again. Deer, a pass to Spicinski, a slap shot, hard, goes wide right. And now Bright comes in to fight for it. Bright to Spicinski. An off-angle shot there is stopped by Reichel once again. A rebound attempt is pushed to the right side of the cage, and it is Kappa that comes in for the rebound, but no, it's Spicinski that gathers it. Spicinski to Deer. Deer in the trapezoid. Still working his way around the corner, gives it over to Spicinski. A centering pass attempted for Bright. Bounces up and over his stick and cannot be controlled in time by Evan Deer as it goes outside of the zone.
I'll tell you what, that was an absolutely fantastic offensive possession for Kennesaw State, managing to keep the puck alive in the offensive zone for longer than I have seen in quite some time, Andrew.
Probably a good 3 minutes there with 16:05 left to go in the first period. A shot on Thurston is turned away and collected by Wes Davis once again. Wes Davis. Long pass up the ice is stopped by the Chargers, but eventually collected by Vandekerkhoff, who waits for everyone to get back on side. Vandekerkhoff retreats steadily and gives it on over to Berezynski. Berezynski up ice to Davis. Davis lets it go the whole way and in to the Chargers zone, where it will be stopped by Reichel. The Chargers now with possession. Turnover by McDonald in their own zone. A pass to Tessino. A shot just did not get all the puck as it goes wide right off the end of his stick. A check there by Testino, and it's sent back over to Davis. Davis to Vandekerkhoff in the neutral zone. Back over to Testino. Attempted pass to McDonald, but it was stripped before it can get there, and now it's Testino that tries to move into the zone to chase it down. Testino and Drensek in the corner. Both men battling for it as a player for both teams comes to help out, and it's McDonald that ends up with it. Past Testino, stopped before the shot can be released, and now it's Vandekerkhoff and McDonald in the corner. McDonald to the point for Bright. Over to Gagne. Gagne, a long-range wrist shot, kick save there by Reichel, and now it's Bright at the far point again. Bright around the boards for Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff waiting patiently, a nice move in the middle of the ice. A wrist shot on goal is stopped by the chest of Alex Reichel.
Kennesaw State, some good opportunities once again here. Jeremy Vandekerkhoff, a wide-open look in front of the net. Still can't quite put one away, but that's all right because with only 14:50 left to go in this first period, there's a lot of hockey left to play.
And Vandekerkhoff has been doing that the past couple games where he waits patiently on the point, puts a move on a defender, and skates into a nice open area in the middle of the zone, and he buries that most of the time. No rebuttal? Awesome.
Well, that was a good statement. I had nothing else to say. What?
Gagne back in his own zone, gives it on over to Bright, back to Gagne as they play with it in the KSU zone. Gagne inching slowly up ice and backhand passes it over to Bright. Bright still in the KSU zone, eventually makes his way to neutral ice and fires one all the way up into the catching glove of Alex Reichel, who does not freeze it. Reichel throws it around the boards, and it is Bright that collects it. And now it's Bright back in KSU's own zone. Bright to Gagne. Gagne, another long pass or shot up into the to the body of Reichel, who traps it, and we will have an offensive zone faceoff for KSU once again.
A lot of time has been spent here in this offensive zone for Kennesaw State, and boy howdy, is Reichel doing a good job like he was yesterday as well. One of these days it's going to fall. It's just a matter of numbers at this point, Andrew. It's statistics.
Absolutely, as Drew Spicinski wins this faceoff, gives it on back to Deer, over to Berezynski. A long-range wrist shot stopped by the body of Spicinski before it can reach the net as he was trying to get a deflection. Spicinski takes a hit in the corner, and now it's controlled by the Chargers. Evan Deer attempted to steal there, but the pass is picked off by Berezynski, who retreats back in the KSU zone. A pass off the boards there goes to Bright and eventually back into the Chargers zone, where Wierzchowski gets it. Spicinski with the steal, but right on back to the possession of the Chargers as they push up ice and over the blue line. Berezynski off the boards, attempted for Deer, and it is eventually Spicinski that gathers it and throws it to the opposite side corner of the Chargers zone. The Chargers now around the boards, controlled by Berezynski. A long-range shot is stopped by a couple bodies before it can reach the net, and now it's his brother getting the puck. Back over to Bright. Centering pass for Deer, just barely misses it. Kick save there by Reichel. Now it's Spicinski, the center of the zone. Shot pops way up in the air. Spicinski tries to get it, and now it is Deer that plays it. Deer over to Bright. Bright to Deer, and eventually back out to the high point for Berezynski. McDonald with a fresh change coming on the ice, and now it's Berezynski around the boards for Bright. Bright lets it go through all the way to the stick of McDonald. Stops on a dime and curls around, and now it's Ian McDonald behind the net for Bright. Attempted centering pass there is stopped by Reichel before it can be played. Now it's McDonald. McDonald, a backhanded pass to Berezinski at the point. Over to his brother. A long-range slap shot. Put on goal. Rebound by McDonald is stopped by Reichel, who was flying across the crease and ends up making the save, and that will be an icing.
We can't have nice things, Andrew.
No, we cannot. At least not early in the first period.
That was an absolutely gruelingly long possession from Kennesaw State there in their offensive zone, and still can't make it fall. A lot of good shots and a lot of good follow-ups as well. Some good puck movement from Kennesaw State. University of Alabama Huntsville, not a whole lot to answer with right now.
Not really, as Ian McDonald had a fantastic chance there, but sadly Reichel came across the net too quickly. Now it's McDonald in the corner, takes a check, stays on his feet.
Wow.
As Horton falls down off of that, McDonald takes another check and stays on his feet.
He's like one of those pinball bumpers. You know, you bump into him, you check him, but you end up falling over. It's incredible.
Long-range wrist shot off the foot of a Charger. Gagne with a wrist shot high is caught and held by Reichel. Number 24, Blake East, took a puck to the skate, and he was a little slow to get up. Again, can't feel good. I feel like I have to keep restating that. Ian McDonald comes in for this face-off in the Chargers zone. McDonald wins it cleanly back to Vanna-Kirchhoff, who throws it right around back along the boards for McDonald. McDonald to Testino. Gets stood up on the corner there, but Testino has it along the boards. Backhands it over to McDonald as McDonald tries to shield the puck. Gets stripped there by the Chargers as it's sent around the boards, where Gagne will collect it. Gagne to Vanna-Kirchhoff, cannot play it cleanly, but Testino can. Testino around the boards. Stops on a dime, takes a check, trying to dig that one out, and it's two Chargers and Testino. And it's eventually moved out by Vanna-Kirchhoff.
That's like a two guys walk into a bar joke, Andrew. It's two Chargers and Testino. Walk into the Marietta Ice Center.
And we'll see who comes out on top. A shot in front is blocked away by Luke Thurston. Thurston trying desperately to freeze it, but Wes Davis helps him out and gets it out of his own zone.
Oh, my goodness. Luke Thurston on top of his game. They're able to track that puck all the way through the humanity.
Absolutely. He's always on his game, Matt. It's Luke Thurston we're talking about here.
Ooh, that referee just took a nice little cylinder of vulcanized rubber to the dome piece.
Is this cylinder?
Yeah, it's a very fat, short cylinder.
We'll call it that. And now it is the Chargers that have possession of their own zone. A check there by Tisdale sends a man to the ice. Now it's Barnett, fans on a shot. And now the Chargers have it.
You don't need to call it that, Andrew. It is a short, fat cylinder. That's what it mathematically is.
I took geometry a long time ago.
Yes, clearly, too long ago.
That was what, sophomore in high school, I think?
Oof.
Yeah. Wes Davis now with control. Flops it high into the air over to Hayes. Hayes in a foot race now. It is him and Brownbridge gets there first, but it's sent on over to the stick of Tisdale. Tisdale shrugs off another check, as he tends to do, and then takes another man to the ice. Tisdale getting two checks of the price of one as Hayes sends a man to the ice.
He's a bull in a china shop, Andrew.
Barnett with the steal in the offensive zone. A shot by Barnett over high the crossbar. And now it is Tisdale that tries to gather it. But no, it's sent on back to the stick of Berezinski and up to neutralize for Hayes.
When are they going to realize, Andrew? When are they going to realize that checking him is a terrible, terrible idea?
It's like checking a cinder block wall.
Yeah,
you just
I wouldn't
can't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
But that wall is wearing pads and hits back.
Yeah, it's somehow even more aggressive.
Berezinski taking himself a centering pass for Hayes, cannot put it home. And he gets tripped up in front of the net. A pass on behind the goal for Tisdale, and now it's Tisdale still behind the net. Tisdale, a backhanded pass attempt is stopped by Glenn and cleared back to the KSU zone, where Bright will chase this one down, but it will be an icing.
Coming all the way back again in Kennesaw State, unable to even think about letting up on this pressure here in the first period with 9 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Your score still 0-0 in Game 2 of this thrilling, thus far, 2-game series, Andrew. I am having a grand old time.
Could you stop poking me with your microphone cable, please?
I'd rather not.
That's a little disturbing. Spysinski moves in behind the boards to take control. Gets to Deere. Deere, a blast from the center. And no, it's stopped by Reichel and kept. No, cannot be kept in the zone by Bright, as a backhanded pass is nearly intercepted there and eventually fed on through to Bright.
That was really cool. Deere kicked it between his own legs to a fellow Owl.
Impressive as it was, but now the Chargers have possession. But it's stolen by Spysinski. A pass on over to Deere. Stops it with a skate. A blast in front. It's stopped by Reichel again. Spysinski, a slap shot of his own, gets deflected twice. Can't find it, but no, it is caught by Reichel. As I think there's some action in front of the net. Bright gave a man a forearm, and he went down to the ice. And will we have a penalty?
Probably.
Yes,
Yes,
it is
indeed.
Mitchell Bright going to the box for KSU. We have our first call of the game, and I think it's going to be 2 minutes for roughing.
You know what? It's an all right call. It's an okay call.
It took 11 minutes for them to finally make a penalty call, but it's going to be the story of yesterday. These refs just letting them play.
The refs yesterday, polar opposite of the referees in the Vanderbilt series, where they let everything or they let nothing slide in the Vanderbilt game.
Nothing.
Whereas here, not even a major assessed, just some penalties. And I'll tell you what, there were a lot of them, but letting the boys play for the most part, even if it is playing 4-on-4 or 3-on-3.
Mostly 3-on-3.
Mostly 3-on-3.
As now the Chargers, Warzakowski has it and brings it up the ice and into neutral zone. 1:30 to go on the power play, and it's thrown in by Warzakowski on goal and stopped by Luke Thurston. The Chargers now, left side of the ice, back down to the trapezoid. Attempted centering pass is stopped by Drensek, but almost cleared by Vanderkerkhoff as Drensek gets a skate on it. A shot on Luke Thurston fought off there, and back down in his own possession as now Berezinski has it behind the goaltender. Berezinski throws a clear up ice, bounces over the stick of Warzakowski, and goes all the way back to Reichel. Reichel hands it on back to, that's Kappa. And now it's sent the length of the ice for West Davis, and that will be an icing.
Coming all the way back down yet again, and 1 minute has been killed off of this power play so far for University of Alabama Huntsville, and 8:04 remaining in the first period of play.
See if KSU can get any shorties on the board here.
That would be a dream come true.
Well, Aaron Tisdale's on the face-off, waiting patiently for the ref to drop the puck, giving out some instructions as if they'd never played hockey before. Puck drops, and it's the Chargers that control.
He's like, no, you stand here.
Warzakowski now throws it nearly into the referee's leg, but around the boards. Up for the Chargers and KSU zone. Bright in his own corner. Puck stolen there by the Chargers behind Luke Thurston, who fakes a wraparound and goes to the left side circle. A pass there was stuffed, but eventually made its way over. Still in the Chargers' possessions, they have it on the high point and on the right side wing. A pass is popped high up in the air by the Owls and controlled by Tassino, sends it up the ice to Tisdale, but it's controlled by the Chargers before he can make a play on it. 20 seconds to go on the power play for the Chargers, and the puck is thrown back into the KSU zone. Tips, so there will be no icing as Gagne controls in the corner. Backhanded pass over to Bright, still in his own zone. 10 seconds to go on the power play as he fires at the length of the ice for one last clear before this power play expires.
A good, solid penalty kill there from Kennesaw State. A couple of good chances for University of Alabama Huntsville, but nothing in terms of damage done.
And let's keep it that way with 7 minutes flat to go in the first period. And as Bright chases this one down, but it's controlled by the Chargers in the corner. Frank attempts to clear it out of his zone, but it hits the body of Deer. And now the Chargers have possession, but it's controlled by Gagne. Gagne high! Slap shot is caught out of the air by Reichel once again.
6:48 to play in the first period, Andrew. And Kennesaw State, now that they're back at even strength, not even thinking about letting up on this pressure.
Spysinski coming in on the faceoff circle.
He has been fantastic on these faceoffs thus far and wins another one there.
Slap shot by Deer off of the body of Frank and controlled in front by Spysinski. Spysinski, a wrist shot deflected twice by Bright, but fought off there by Reichel. A centering pass for Spysinski, shot wide left. And now Bright, a backhanded pass through the blue paint, is controlled by the Chargers, but not before it's saved by Berezinski.
Very good look there from Bright, and another shot is snapped up by Reichel. And some extracurricular activity, Andrew. It's happening a little earlier than it was in the last game, but we got ourselves some chippiness, some Lay's chippiness.
That's
some sweet heat,
I'll let you finish.
Some sweet heat Southern barbecue chippiness.
That's how it starts every time. Someone gets pushed into the goalie, and then they go at it. The cork is off.
And there's a whole lot of yelling coming from both benches and the stands, as per the usual, as they will send Evan Deer to the penalty box for, I believe, a fresh 2 minutes.
Yep, you are correct.
And so for the next 2 agonizing minutes, University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers will have themselves a power play yet again. Second of the game so far, and this first period is only a little more than half over.
With 6:28 on the game clock in the first period. And it looks like Moran comes in for the face-off. It's won by the Chargers. And throw to the high point. A shot on goal, deflected in front, and cannot be put in the back of the net as Thurston slides over to make the save.
Wow, very good look there by Thurston. He got a little confused and lost the puck there for a second. Kennesaw State defenseman did a good job of collapsing, and they managed to clear the puck again, but Luke Thurston was able to get his wits about him once more.
He's got a lot of wits, Matt.
Several of them, Andrew. I'd say at least 6.
I'd copy him off of him if he was on my class. It's a lot of wits right there. KSU clears the puck once again, and back to the stick of Reichel. A minute 24 to go on the power play as Vanderkerkhoff comes up the forecheck. It is Drensek that moves up the ice, and it is thrown back to the corner for Berezinski. Berezinski throws to the corner, but nobody home as McDonald tries to be the first man there, and eventually fights his way over to the puck. McDonald getting pressed to the glass, and it's the Chargers that end up with it. A bouncing puck is put on goal, but blocked away by Luke Thurston. The Chargers now attempt the shot at stop at the skates of Vanderkerkhoff, and Vanderkerkhoff has a breakaway. 1-on-1, going for shorthanded goal. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff goes 5-hole and is stopped by Alex Reichel.
Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff, an absolutely gorgeous set of moves there, looking to put it 5-hole on Reichel. Just couldn't send it home, Andrew. That has been the story of this game thus far. Kennesaw State, some beautiful opportunities, can't quite send it home.
5:20 left to go on the game clock as Ian McDonald comes over the face-off. 52 seconds to go on the power play.
5:20, 10 times that left to play. Or I guess if you're doing just straight up numbers and not seconds and minutes, but
that makes no
let
sense.
me live my life. 5:16 to play is what I was getting at, and 48 seconds left to play in this power play.
That Vanderkerkhoff breakaway was the best chance KSU had today. As KSU wins the face-off, a slap shot put on goal by Wes Davis, fought off by Reichel. KSU on the attack, even though they're a man down. Ian McDonald sends the puck over to the middle of the ice for Davis. Davis throws to the right side of the boards for nobody, as now the Chargers come over.
That's where the 5th man would be, if we had one.
If we had one. Now it's Gagne taking it himself, puts a long-range wrist shot, bouncing puck. Reichel caught it off of his equipment. With 26 seconds to go on the power play, 4:54 to go. And there will be another offensive zone face-off.
Kennesaw State has evidently decided that they don't need a 5th man to go on the offensive. And here they are once again with an offensive zone face-off. Spicinski coming in, it looks like, to take this one.
Hey, Gagne got lucky there off of a deflected shot, and the Chargers got equally as lucky that Reichel was able to gather it in his own equipment. Spicinski loses the face-off, but Bright comes in to save him, as now Bright fights for control, but no, it's the Chargers that have it in the trapezoid. University of Alabama, Huntsville, moving slowly up ice, but it's controlled by Davis at neutral ice and thrown it over to the stick of Bright. Mitchell Bright puts a wrist shot on goal, is caught by Reichel for another offensive zone face-off. I think KSU has spent more time in their zone on this power play than they have.
It is a never-ending cycle. Yeah, 10 seconds left to play in this power play and 4:38 remaining in this first period. And Kennesaw State with the offensive face-off. Once again, Drew Spicinski will be taking this one as per the usual. He's been cleaning up. As immediately I curse him by having him lose a face-off.
Gagne trying to use his long reach to get control, but no, it's the Chargers. They have an extra man to fight. McLeod moving up ice takes 2 checks from Spicinski and Deer alike. No, that's Vanderkerkhoff. No, that is Deer. Yeah, the power play expired. Now Deer comes out of the box, and now it's Spicinski trying to make a play, but no, Deer catches it and tries to put it into the zone. Deer shoves it over the blue line with some force as McLeod loses a stick. Spicinski in the middle of the ice attempts a shot on goal, but it's stopped by Reichel before a play can be made.
Drew Spicinski is so slippery. He can slide through defensemen with the ease, Andrew. Absolute ease.
He's one slippery boy, Matt.
I never say that again, please.
I'm gonna say it however many times I want to.
Never say that again in your entire life.
No.
Can you stop leaning over the thing? I need a better angle of this face-off, Andrew.
Getting a better view. Oh, am I on the camera?
You were.
Oh, sorry. The Chargers win this face-off. It is Werzakowski moving up the ice across the blue line. Tries to make a move on Bright, but cannot. Chargers still with possession, but it's kicked off of his stick there by Moran. And eventually over the blue line, collected by Tisdale. Tisdale, a pass to Barnett. Cannot be controlled. Barnett throws an off-angle shot, but no, it is controlled by Barnett in the trapezoid. An attempted centering pass is broken up there by McLeod. McLeod up the ice. Tries to gather his own tipped pass, but it's collected by Tisdale as he pushes back into neutral zone. Aaron Tisdale, a wrist shot off of the skates of Drensek, and fought around in the corner. Tisdale loses his stick. Barnett gathers it with his skates, sends it to the corner, as Testino goes for it and backhands it over to Berezinski. Berezinski lobs a pass on over into the corner for Tisdale. And now Tisdale can't get control, but it's kicked over to Testino. Tries a stuff attempt from the corner, and the puck is knocked off of its mount once again.
Oh, and here we go. Once again in front of this University of Alabama Huntsville net, we have ourselves some physicality.
It's always that
some
goal.
Extra.
Always.
A little after the whistle.
3:09 to go in the first period, as there will be another faceoff for KSU in the Chargers zone.
What a shocker, Andrew. I am shocked.
I'm sure you are, Matt. Ian McDonald coming in for this faceoff for KSU, squaring off against Kappa for the Chargers. Nobody really won there, but it is controlled by KSU. Now Testino has it in the middle of the ice. A pass is put off of McDonald's skate as he loses an edge, but immediately pops right back up for a pass on over to Bright. Bright back to McDonald. McDonald centering pass for Testino. Puts a shot on goal, blockered away. Vandekerkhoff tries a stuff attempt, but cannot do it as Vandekerkhoff gets stripped of the puck there and sent back over to the stick of Bright and eventually pushed out into the KSU zone where Berezinski will try to chase this one down. Berezinski does get there first.
Good speed there from Berezinski to break up that potential charge from the Chargers. Hey, I guess that's why they called him.
Hey, nice.
It's unintentional, and I feel dirty.
Vandekerkhoff keeps it in the zone. Attempted pass for Testino just a bit too far. With 2:25 to go in the first period, we are still scoreless. Ian McDonald pushes into the zone by himself, tries to go 5-hole on a defenseman, and checks Brownbridge for control of the puck.
Ian McDonald getting physical there. I like it.
Berezinski to Berezinski, and the shot was denied before it left his stick.
They almost had the beautiful Airbnb connection there, Andrew.
Speaking of Berezinski, here he's again, and it scores! That one is Josh Berezinski from the feed from Ian McDonald. Goes 5-hole on Reichel, and our first goal comes with 2:04 to go in the first period.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, I don't care if you're the best goaltender on this planet. You cannot face that many opportunities and not give up at least one. This is Kennesaw State winning the war of attrition here in the offensive zone. Have spent, I would say, like 80%. 80%, I'm going to say boldly, 80% of this entire period in the offensive zone. And it finally, with 2:04 remaining in the first period, pays dividends as Kennesaw State takes the 1-0 lead.
And when both Berezinskis are coming at you like that, you can't really stop all their shots, can you?
You are not kidding. Both double-barrel Berezinskis.
Right in front of the net, as now Bright throws it over to Evan Deere in the corner, back to Bright. Bright, attempted pass for Spysinski, is broken up, and Spysinski tries a point-blank shot, pulls it and gives it to Deere behind the net. Deere. Centering pass is tipped off the skate and nearly put in. Reichel lost sight of it, as now there will be another offensive zone faceoff for KSU.
That one almost snuck in past the skate of Reichel. That was amazing.
Almost had a bit of an own goal.
I'll accept an own goal right about
I haven't
now.
seen an own goal this year.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
1:37 left to play in the first period, and now it's Spysinski coming in for this faceoff. Spysinski wins it, gives it to Deere. Deere puts a shot on goal and gives it back to Davis, who blasts a slap shot deflected in front and a wide right of the cage. Around the boards now for Bright. Bright attempts to back it out over to Deere, and Deere cannot get there in time as we have a stoppage in play.
And they're going to get,
A penalty?
I believe it's going to be on University of Alabama Huntsville, number 65, Jackson Kinney for slashing.
You can hear some voices down there from KSU saying thank you. Apparently he's been doing that a lot this game, but hey, if you can get away with it, keep on doing it.
I'll tell you what.
That's the MO of hockey.
That'll take us into this first intermission with 1-2-3 left to play in this first period of the second game of the two-game series between Kennesaw State and the Chargers.
Absolutely, as now Davis has it at the high point. Davis over to Deere. Deere on the right side circle. Evan Deere puts a wrist shot high over the crossbar as it takes a weird bounce off the glass, and Vandekerkhoff cannot get there in time, but strips him of the puck anyway and tries to wait until KSU gets back on side.
And ends up doing it. Wow, that was awesome.
And ends up doing so, but strips of the puck immediately. Vandekerkhoff now, crossing the blue line by himself, gives it over to McDonald. McDonald, centering pass for Bright. Bright puts it on goal wide right. And now Bright, I'm rhyming way too much here, as Vandekerkhoff is at the high point.
Andrew Leonard, everyone, the play-by-play with the bars.
I cannot stand you sometimes.
40 seconds remaining here in this first period, and a minute 15 to go in the power play for Kennesaw State.
McDonald now in the corner. A pass by Deere over to Davis, kicked up to Vandekerkhoff with 30 seconds to play. Vandekerkhoff to Davis. Davis across the ice to Deere. Deere to Vandekerkhoff. And now Vandekerkhoff has it. We have a stoppage in play as Is the goal knocked off of its mount again?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Interesting.
21 seconds to go in the first period, 58 seconds to go on the power play for KSU. And they might get one, if not two, good last chances in this period before we go to the locker room.
21 seconds remaining and 58 to play left in this.
I just said that.
In this power play. I'm aware. I'm just letting the people know.
Testino now off of the face-off win. A pass in front to Spicinski's turned away and controlled by McLeod. McLeod pushes up into the KSU zone as Tisdale accidentally runs into Gagne, and now Testino has it. Testino with 5 seconds to play in a neutral ice, and can't get a shot off in time, as that will do it for the first period of action. KSU is up 1-0 after 20 minutes, but they will head into the second period with 37 seconds to go with the man advantage.
Thank you guys for tuning in once again here, twitch.tv/SuperGamecastBrothers, your home for all things yelling at Kennesaw hockey. Don't go anywhere. We will be back after this brief intermission. Welcome back, everybody, to the second period of action here at the Marietta Ice Center between your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers. Second period getting underway, Andrew, here with the Kennesaw State Owls up 1-0. A far cry, and by far cry I mean 1 goal difference from the first game of this series, where it was tied 1-1 at the end of the first.
Absolutely, as the opening face-off between McDonald and McLeod was controlled by the Chargers. And now it is Van de Kerkhoff with the puck in front of Luke Thurston. Jeremy Van de Kerkhoff gives it on up to Ian McDonald. McDonald moves into the right side, around to the corner. Ian McDonald now circles back, gives it over to Wes Davis at the high point. Davis lets a slap shot go off of the leg of Bryce Frank, but gets it back himself. Wes Davis now, wrist shot stopped by Reichel. And they send it the length of the ice. Almost a breakaway there for Kinney, but no, Luke Thurston goes out of his cage and gathers.
Absolutely, Andrew. Kinney came out of the penalty box here on that penalty that was assessed during the first period. Oh!
A stuff attempt there by McLeod is shut down by Luke Thurston as Van de Kerkhoff slides in to help. And now it is Ian McDonald off of the skates of Wes Davis. Oh, no, excuse me, that is Bright, and it goes all the way up for an icing. There's Wes Davis. I was looking at the wrong guy. There he is, the captain. The captain himself, the man, Wes Davis.
There he is. The
taking
guy.
the reins of this team.
That's the boy. I wonder if they, Andrew, he's Wes Davis.
Yes.
And he's number 40.
Yes.
I wonder if they ever call him WD-40.
Ooh, but that's a good one.
Because he's so smooth on the ice.
Okay, then you ruined it.
He can just belly slide down it and it'd count as Zamboniing. He's that smooth.
Okay. KSU won the face-off, and now it's Evan Deere pushing up the ice.
But if he did that, the ice would probably all melt.
Oh, my God.
So hot.
Matt.
Get it?
Ian McDonald now. Off the boards. Attempted pass for Bright, but it's shut down there. Bright sends a backhanded pass. A shot on goal by Van de Kerkhoff is turned aside by Reichel. And now it's Van de Kerkhoff trying desperately to get control, but it's the Chargers that ended up with it. McLeod moving up the ice. Thurston with the poke check. Gagne around to play some defense. Tristan Gagne pulls it back to the trapezoid and wraps it around the boards for Van de Kerkhoff. Van de Kerkhoff gets shut down there as the puck goes over to the possession of McLeod, puts an off-angle shot off of the stick of Luke Thurston. Back check there by Van de Kerkhoff, sends a man to the ice, and now Barnett moves up the ice. Aaron Barnett, a shot on goal is over top of the glove of Alex Reichel and sent to the corner. Puck clear of the zone is now as Tristan Gagne waits back for everyone to get onside and sends it around the boards, where McDonald will try to chase this one down, and we will have a stop. Offside is the call. 17:53 to go in the second period. Score is 1-0, same as it was in the first.
And what do you know, Andrew? This first period of offensive zone dominance shows no signs of slowing down for Kennesaw State here, as they are just pitching a tent in the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers zone. Oh,
really?
Every single time I see that happen and a puck goes flying off of somebody's shin.
That was a kneecap.
I can't help but wince. But grimace.
I can't do it. That was a slap shot there by Barnett that went off of his knees. And now Aaron Tisdale comes up for the face-off.
What was Grimace?
Aaron Tisdale.
The purple guy from McDonald's?
Was it?
You know Grimace, the purple guy from McDonald's?
Long-range wrist shot there by Gagne is stopped by Reichel.
You're too young. I'll tell you when you're older.
3 years younger than you. What do you want me to do?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh, I hate you. Barnett chases this one down. Checks a man to the boards, and now it is Bright, who gives it on over to Gagne. Gagne to Hayes. Hayes dances around to check as the puck is sent into KSU's bench, and we will have not a neutral zone face-off, not an offensive zone. I was so used to saying that from the first period. I got a little confused.
A little confuzzled, a little Confucius, laying down that mad philosophy on us. And that's a very offensive mindset, just like Kennesaw State here tonight.
17:19 to go in the second period, as now it is Hayes that pushes into the KSU zone. Max Hayes, a shot off the body of a Charger, and now it is Hayes in the corner as Barnett sends a man to the boards, and we will have a penalty for boarding against Aaron Barnett. Delayed penalty. Reichel goes to the bench, and the puck is touched by Thurston to stop the play, and that will be another power play, their third of the game, for the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers.
Absolutely. They keep getting these golden opportunities here, Andrew, to turn the momentum of this game around. They just need to capitalize, and they need to do it soon.
They do, but if Kennesaw has anything to say about it, they've spent more time in their zone during the power plays that the Chargers have attacking. So,
yeah,
see if that changes.
It's not the best. Not the best situation here for University of Alabama Huntsville, but they had a decent amount of goals during last game. I believe it was 3, right? 3 goals in the last game. So they can score on Kennesaw State. They know they can.
Chargers nearly avoiding a 2-on-1 there as McDonald uses his speed to get back, but it's the Chargers that have possession of their own zone. Pucks end up in a neutralized territory as now it is McLeod in the KSU zone. A shot wide left of Luke Thurston behind the cage as Berezinski retrieves. Shrugs off a check, and there's Testino able to clear the puck all the way down to the stick of Reichel. $1:30 left to go on the power play with 16:30 left to go in the second period as Moran strips him cleanly of the puck there. Great job by him as it gives over to Berezinski, who gives it to his own brother to clear the puck. No, it's up for Testino. Testino in a one-on-one breakaway. John Testino backhand stopped by Reichel. That's his second breakaway save of the game as now the Chargers move up ice. The Chargers now. This is Kappa. A shot on Thurston is stick checked away, and now it is Berezinski who clears it once again. Like I said, shorthanded opportunities by KSU.
You are not kidding. That was an incredible offensive rush there from the 4 Kennesaw State players currently on the ice, Andrew. I'm baffled. I'm flabbergasted. I am astounded.
Any more verbs?
I am... no.
Okay. KSU clears the puck once again. 40 seconds to go on the power play. 15:40 left to go in the second period as Vanna Kirkov goes to the forecheck. Evan Deere takes control, gives it on to Davis to kill some more time. Wes Davis, the captain, with the C on his jersey, same color hair as me, throws it up ahead to Evan Deere, puts a backhander on goal, is stopped by Reichel. Again, another shorthanded opportunity.
I'll tell you what. Kennesaw State, at this point in the game, can just go 3-on-5 and have to worry about scoring the goals.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that.
Look, me neither, but I'm saying that if it came down to it, it's looking like it might be able to happen.
That's if we can put anything past Alex Reichel.
That is very true. We've only put one so far, and it has been absolute difficulty. Oh. As soon as I say that, we get another.
As soon as you say that, Spicinski puts a shot on goal that's sticked up and into the body of Alex Reichel.
You know, I'll just forever stop speaking.
Wes Davis now with the turnover in the Chargers zone puts a shot on goal that's sticked up and into the mesh with all of 4 seconds left to go on this penalty and 15:04 to go in the second period.
4 seconds left in the power play for Alabama Huntsville here. It looks like this one's going to go down in the books as another successful penalty kill for Kennesaw State.
Not sure what the stats are on that, but KSU's got to be leading the ACHA, or if not leading, but up there in penalty kills. Speaking of that, the power play expires, and now the Chargers move into the zone. This is Kappa. Kappa gets walled off there by Gagne and gives it over to Spicinski on the corner. Spicinski, up ice to Deere. Deere shovels it into the zone, but it's the Chargers that have possession, but not before it can be stolen by Spicinski. Drew Spicinski steadily moves in, gets stripped of the puck, and it's thrown back and kept in the zone, but not before it's immediately gathered by Kappa and the Chargers. Evan Deere with a check. Wes Davis now behind Luke Thurston. Wes Davis waiting patiently, and he lobs it all the way to neutral ice, bounces over a glove, and over to the possession of Evan Deere, but not before Reichel can go out of his net and gather it. Long wrist shot put on goal. Rebound attempt by Deere. Cannot put it on goal as now Spicinski a centering pass in front.
Ooh.
And it's over to Gagne at the point. Looking for a deflection was Tristan Gagne, but no, it's now to the corner for Deere.
And another hard hit there by Spicinski along the back of the goalpost. Sent a man sprawling to the ground, and we have another stoppage.
And a hand pass?
I don't believe so.
14:01 to go in the second period. KSU, along with their shorthanded opportunities, getting some even strength ones of their own.
My goodness. It's going to be... I might just zoom the camera in, to be honest with you.
Just on that side of the ice?
I'm not going to have to turn the camera this way there a whole lot.
Aaron Tisdale loses the face-off to the Chargers as now Moran tries to chase this one down. Ryan Moran along the boards. Still fighting for it. Backhanded to the center of the ice, but it's controlled by the Chargers. Moran sends a man to the ice. Ryan Moran on the right side. A shot in front is stopped by Reichel and eventually gets control as a member of the Chargers collides into the goaltender.
Oh, my goodness, Andrew. I'll tell you what. Ryan Moran, not known for his heavy-hitting ability, much like Aaron Tisdale, but I'll tell you what, he just laid it down on University of Alabama Huntsville defender there. My goodness. And then he almost scored off of a beautiful redirect shot.
And Reichel didn't have possession of that at first, so a rebound attempt was almost going to happen, but he gathered it and froze it just in time as Testino loses the face-off here to McLeod, but gathers it himself anyway. Testino to McDonald. McDonald trying to get it over to Bright, but gets knocked down on the play, and now Bright has it. Bright, a pass over to Testino, tries a redirect in front, but it's stopped by Reichel once again.
Good redirect look there for Testino. Wanted to pop one up over his stick, high glove side. Couldn't quite get it to happen.
13:31 on the clock for the second period.
13:31. Good year, Andrew.
What happened to that year, Matt?
I believe
Let me know.
Pope Constantine the 60th was he died. He died.
I don't think that's true.
It's entirely possible.
Ian McDonald now with control in the corner. Attempts to get the puck over to Vanderkerkhoff and does before it's sent right back to McDonald. McDonald back to Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff in left side circle. Vanderkerkhoff to McDonald. A centering pass in front is stopped and poked out of the zone by Reichel as it sent the length of the ice back down for Berezinski and an eventual icing. 13:08 left to go in the second period of action. Score is still 1-0.
Alrighty, and during this stoppage here, Andrew, just been given a fresh hot bulletin. This one's right off the presses. We'd like to wish happy birthday to a University of Alabama Huntsville fan watching from Michigan, Sterling Heights, Andrew. That's Ralph Dresnick. Thank you for tuning in. We very much appreciate all the support and all the help we can get putting this amateur lovely broadcast together. Happy
do our
birthday
best.
once again. He's turning 78.
Wow.
I know. I can only hope to live that long.
We're going national, Matt.
Indeed we are, Andrew. All the way across the country, but vertically, not horizontally.
Yes.
We don't like the West Coast very much.
Berezinski over to Vanderkerkhoff. Vanderkerkhoff up the ice. A shot on Reichel is stopped in front. Rebound attempt there. Put on goal again, and it goes wide right and around the corner. Testino back to Berezinski at the high point. A slap shot redirect there is sent straight to the boards by Vanderkerkhoff.
Right off of the skate of Bryce Frank? Bryce Frank.
I've been saying Frank this whole game.
Yeah, there's an E at the end of
Because
that, though.
frankly, Matt, that's what I think it is. I hate myself.
Yeah,
Pass off the
you
boards and back down to the KSU side of the ice for an eventual icing, and that will come straight back to the Chargers side of the ice for an offensive zone faceoff for Kennesaw State University.
Andrew, you know what I just sort of thought of?
What?
As Drew Spicinski takes this offensive zone face.
Lay it on me.
You've been pronouncing his last name Kappa this entire
Yes.
game. It's entirely possible that it's pronounced Kappa. We just don't know.
I've kind of been saying both. Flip-flopping.
But what I will say, Andrew,
Yo,
is that this being twitch.tv, if you are signed in, you've created an account.
give
to
me
follow
1
us.
second. It's Spicinski up the left side. A shot on goal, stopped by Reichel. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, no, that's all right. Keep calling this dazzler of a game, Andrew.
No, finish this. There's a
No,
all
go
right,
ahead.
fine.
Go right ahead.
All right.
I dare you.
Okay, Spicinski has it on the left side circle. Back down to the trapezoid for Evan Deere. Deere moving steadily back up to the high point. Banks it off the boards there for Spicinski. A stuff attempt in front by Bright is stopped by Reichel and eventually set around the boards and kept in the zone by Berezinski.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, one thing Reichel's been doing a good job of this entire series is locking down those corners, not allowing any stuff attempts or wraparound shots. Not on his life.
Berezinski now back in KSU zone, up to Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale, a blast is into the breadbasket of Alex Reichel. Matt, did you want to finish that thought from earlier?
Anyway, yeah, this being twitch.tv, Andrew, if you're signed in to follow us or to participate in the poppin' chat that we have,
Is it?
if you type Kappa, K-A-P-P-A, instead of C-A-P-P-A, like Colton Kappa, the player, if you type K-A-P-P-A in the chat, it will not actually say that. It'll just pop up with a black and white image of a dude making a funny face.
I'm not going to try that.
Just figured I'd...
Matt, you are standing on my mic cord real quick.
oh,
Thank
my
you.
apologies.
My movement was restricted, as now we have a stoppage in play.
Like this. I'll do it in the chat so everybody can see. Capital K-A-P-P-A, bang.
Thanks for that, Matt.
No problem, buddy.
And we have a penalty on Aaron Tisdale, and that will be another 2 minutes for University of Alabama Huntsville.
Offensive zone face-off, a rare one for University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers. Let's see if they can capitalize and tie this game with the equalizer goal.
Ian McDonald On the face-off now, facing off against Alex McLeod.
Equalizer, good movie.
Denzel. I love him. Puck sent to the other end of the ice, and killing some time as Werzakowski takes this one behind Reichel. 1:45 to go on the power play. Werzakowski moving slowly up the ice. A shot put on Thurston is in off of his pads. And in the back of the net, that is Tyler Werzakowski. Evens the score with 10:32 left to go in the second period on a power play goal.
And all it took, Andrew, was one good rush from the Chargers.
And a weird bounce.
And a very strange bounce. I'll tell you what, a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill never hurt anybody. But I'll tell you what, the Chargers have equalized here 1-1, and Kennesaw State's going to have to punch through these defenses if they're going to want to run away with this one and sweep the series 2-0.
Chargers take this face-off as we are back to even strength hockey with 10:25 left to go in the second period. The Chargers now behind their own goaltender. It is thrown off the boards for John Testino. Testino loses control, but not before he taps back to Wes Davis to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff down to Testino, could not get everything on that shot, and we have another stop.
I'll tell you what, the net is getting knocked off of its post quite often.
I don't know what's going on there, Matt. He's just catching a rare skate every now and then.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Ian McDonald coming in for this offensive zone faceoff. Back out to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff to McDonald, back to Berezynski, and eventually on back to McDonald. McDonald on the left side of the ice gives it over to Testino in the corner. Testino wraps it around for McDonald. A mishmash of players there in the corner as McDonald ends up with it, but not before it's controlled by the Chargers. McDonald keeps it in the zone, throws it straight back to the corner, and now Vandekerkhoff chases this one down. All the way around the boards and up into a glove of Max Hayes, who is on the bench. So that is his stoppage in play and a neutral zone faceoff.
Yeah, he can't do that. He's not currently on the ice.
No.
He is now, though. He subbed in. He's like, hey, maybe I might as well get in there if I'm being part of the action anyway.
Aaron Tisdale on the faceoff. Chargers take this one. A pass off the boards goes a bit too far and into the possession of Aaron Tisdale as he skates on back behind Luke Thurston. Aaron Tisdale up to Hayes. Hayes back to Tisdale, and Tisdale takes into the zone himself. A shot on goal, and Reichel makes the save and freezes it for another faceoff. There have been so many faceoffs in this game, Matt. I've lost count. Granted, I wasn't keeping count, but if I was, I would have lost it. 9:15 to go in the second period. Aaron Tisdale on this faceoff wins it. Barnett couldn't get everything on that shot. And now it is Hayes chasing this one down. Hayes sent it to the corner where it will be controlled by Horton and eventually sent up to the stick of Tristan Gagne. Gagne, a shot that was redirected twice, goes just wide left of the cage as Hayes chases this one down. One of the Chargers laying on the puck on the corner as it's dug out and sent on back to Bright. Bright to Gagne. Gagne, a long wrist shot, tries for a deflection, but it goes out to Bright. Bright back to Gagne. Reloads for another one, lets it go, and stopped in front before it can be controlled by Reichel once again.
Kennesaw State cannot get through this final line of defense in Alex Reichel, Andrew. Can't make it happen just yet.
.8:38 to go in the second period as Drew Spicinski lines up for this faceoff against Kappa. Or Kappa. Or both.
Or both at the same time.
Spicinski wins it, but it's controlled by the Chargers as they move up ice. A pass off the boards to himself as the Chargers move in, but not before it's stripped by Bright. Eventually collected by the Chargers, a centering pass in front is stopped and stolen by Bright. Immediately sent back into the trapezoid by the Chargers, where the other Bright brother will control it behind Thurston.
The other Bright brother, Andrew Leonard, lyrical genius. Nas who? Biggie who?
Stop it.
Tupac who?
Tristan Gagne now behind Luke Thurston.
I hear he's got bars as well.
Throws it up to Bright, but it's just a bit too far, and it's controlled by Werzakowski. Up off of the skate of Gagne. Gagne gives it on over to Bright. Bright moves in. Left side circle. A shot that took its sweet time getting to the front of the net is stopped and held by Reichel. 7:48 to go in the second period. Score is still tied, and we'll have another face-off for KSU in the offensive zone.
Andrew, at this rate, we're going to go into like 8 overtimes, and the shootout's going to take about 7 years. And I'm going to have to go out there and shoot a face-off goal because they're going to be out of players.
I'll do it.
I can't
If
skate.
I could just slide on my knees the whole
I was
time.
about to say, I can't skate, so I would love to, but
Just borrow some gear.
yeah, I don't think it's in the cards for us.
Anyone out there got a size 13 skate? No
Oof.
one? You need to borrow one. Puck goes into the mesh and out of play as one lucky fan will go home with a souvenir. Hey, Matt, can you go grab that puck for me? Nope,
No.
someone else is getting it.
Probably just going to give it back.
We already stole 2 pucks from the old town center ice forum before that got torn down
Poor ice for him.
for some new apartments for Kennesaw State.
Feels bad, man.
Face-off won by the Kennesaw State. Now it's Evan Deere in the corner. Deere throws it on back to Bright. Fights forward in the corner, and it's back to Deere. Deere, off of his own skate, sends it back to the corner, this time for Spicinski. Spicinski attempts a centering pass, but it gets stopped by some skates, and eventually sent on back to Berezinski. Berezinski to Bright, back to Berezinski, who throws to the corner for Spicinski once again. Spicinski all the way up to Davis. Davis puts a shot on goal, and he scores! The captain, the C on his jersey, Wes Davis, rips a shot right past Alex Reichel to make this game 2-1 with 7:12 left to go in the second period.
WD-40 putting one glove side right past Alex Reichel for the second goal for Kennesaw State of the day, Andrew. And back on top by 1 goal are the Fighting Owls. Let's see if they can hang on this time.
Now they just want the lead. Keep the lead.
I'm going to
That's
be
that's
honest
all
with
it
you.
takes.
I just watched Drew Spicinski and the goaltender Luke Thurston dab to each other, and that makes me very happy.
I'm sure it does. We do that in our spare time as we have a delayed offsides, and everyone gets back to their own side of the zone, and that will be waved off.
And this is John Testina now as I take over with play-by-play for just one moment as Andrew Leonard goes ahead and marks the goal. This is Vandekerkov now, dumping it on down to Testino. Testino in front of Vandekerkov, but it slides just past him and up to Berezinski.
All right, I'm back. Had to write down the goals in case anyone scores later, and now it is Vandekerkov behind the net. Jeremy Vandekerkov over to Berezinski. Berezinski rips one from the point, and a rebound attempt, and it is sat on by Alex Reichel.
Ooh, Kennesaw State may have just opened the floodgates, Andrew. All they needed was that 1 goal by the WD-40 to lube up the rest of their offense to get them firing on all cylinders.
Okay, that was good.
The
I'll
extended-
I'll give you that one. That
Thank
was
you,
really
thank
good.
you.
I'll
I
give you that one.
appreciate it.
Matt, I'm going to miss you as my color guy when you graduate.
I hate it.
6:30 to go in the second period as the puck is thrown back into the Charger zone and controlled by Wierzakowski.
I don't know. Where does Akowski?
I don't know. Maybe like North Canada?
You think that's ever been made? That joke's ever been made before? I think it's
Probably.
been made probably every day of his life.
Probably. The Chargers now cross the blue line to the KSU zone, and that will be an offsides.
Neutral zone face-off.
Looks like Nestorov had to skate over the blue line, and that will be called back for a face-off, like you said, Matt. .6:10 to go in the second period as both teams line up for the face-off after getting some fresh legs on the ice. This one will be Aaron Tisdale versus Kappa once again.
A tale as old as time.
Yes. Hayes throws it all the way from the blue line and punched away easily by Reichel. Tisdale now in the left side circle, flops it on across the ice, and this time it's in the corner where Moran tries to track this one down, but Berezinski gets to it first. Tisdale at the point, lets a slap shot go, and it's head-butted by Alex Reichel.
That's called using the old noodle
I mean-
right there, Andrew.
I mean, if it works, I mean, he stood up, didn't even try to use his hand, stood up and bounced that off of his head into the mesh.
Bop.
Way to use your head there, Reichel.
He's like, ow, I'm going to need to take some head-on applied directly to the forehead, just like that rubber cylinder.
Aaron Tisdale coming in for the face-off now. Chargers take this one, and they will move up ice. All nearly stolen in front of the net there by Moran and thrown around the boards for Kappa, but it's just a bit too far, and Bright will collect this one. Bright across the ice from Moran. Moran dumps it in. Hayes chases after this one. The Chargers with possession. Hayes attempts a steal, but it's spun away and eventually led on back to the KSU zone for Berezinski. Off the boards, attempted for Tisdale, but it's stopped before it can get to his stick. And Moran comes in. Moran attempts a clear off of the body of Kappa, and this time it's Berezinski taking it. Berezinski, left side circle, lets a shot go, and off of the leg of Reichel.
A good look there from Berezinski. Tried to beat him far side with the on the glove side. Just couldn't quite make it happen.
Puck sent the length of the ice, and the ref thought Bright could have made a play on it, so waves off the icing, as now the Chargers have it in the KSU zone. A pass across the paint. Let one go. Thurston with the chest save. Always aware, Luke Thurston, as attempted to be cleared there by Tisdale, and eventually does, and this time it's Berezinski. KSU moving up. This time it's Berezinski. Over to Tisdale. Tisdale tries to feed it to Deer, but it's stolen by the Chargers, and we have a penalty. A slashing call on the Chargers.
That would be tripping him.
Tripping, slashing. He probably slashed him into a trip. Yes.
We'll go with that.
Saved it.
A fresh 2 minutes for Kennesaw State here. The rare opportunity for
You already
them
started
to
the
have a
clock.
man advantage.
Buddy, this is 1:59, not 2 minutes.
Oh. They shortchanged us by 1 second.
There we go. Now we're back. 4:34 to go in the second period. Score 2-1 in KSU's favor as Ian McDonald squares off against Frank. McDonald wins this one back to Davis. Davis to Vanderkerkhoff. Lets one go in and out of the glove of Reichel. And McDonald has the rebound. An off-ankle shot there, this time by Evan Deer, and Reichel shoulders it down to the ice and freezes it. $4:25 to go. $1:51 left to go on the power play. And it's Ian McDonald against Frank once again. McDonald wins his second one. Davis lets it go. Redirected by McDonald and stopped by Reichel as McDonald throws it around the boards and into possession of the Chargers. Attempted clear, stopped by the skate of Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff. And looking for Deer, but eventually finds Vanderkerkhoff. Vanderkerkhoff over to Deer. Deer waiting patiently. Down to McDonald. McDonald to Deer. Deer tried to let one go but lost control and sends it on over to Wes Davis. Davis to Vanderkerkhoff. Lets one go, and it's stopped by Reichel once again. A rebound attempt there, and it goes to Bright, who cannot control it, and it's sent back to the KSU zone for a clear. Alabama Huntsville with the Chinese fire drill of a change right there, and now it's Evan Deer coming in.
What? Are we allowed to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's McDonald behind the goaltender. A pass in front to Vanderkerkhoff, lets one go, and it's stopped by the glove of Alex Reichel once again. What?
Nothing.
What do you want from me?
Not a thing, Andrew. Not a thing.
3:31 to go in the second period. 58 seconds to go on the power play. And it is Drew Spicinski coming in against Alex McLeod. Is it Alex McLeod? Yes, Alex McLeod. I was right. Testino, a backhanded shot, goes through the blue paint and out to the stick of Berezinski. Berezinski back around the boards for Spicinski. Over to Testino. Testino up to Gagne. A wrist shot in front and is stopped by Reichel.
I'll tell you what. Aside from letting up the very, very rare goal, Reichel has been doing quite well, I would say, thus far in this series.
Well, with the amount of offensive pressure that KSU is applying, I mean, you're going to let some through.
It's pressure like you wouldn't even believe. There's no PVC pipe on the planet that could contain this pressure. I dare say not even double band reinforced wooden watersheds could.
I'm going to just let that one slide as now Gagne has it. And it goes to
contain
Berezinski.
such pressure.
Slap shot by Gagne is caught by Reichel and held for another faceoff.
But Reichel can.
You want to finish this face-off? You want to finish this analogy you're making?
Yeah, brand new water pipes brought to you by made of Reichelium. Reichel. Right, Reichelium. You get it?
Spicinski on the faceoff. Wins it on back to Gagne. Gagne at the high point. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Once again, stopped and frozen by Reichel.
And the never-ending cycle continues. The prophecy fulfills itself once again, Andrew.
Of offensive zone faceoffs, a shot to Reichel, frozen, rinse and repeat.
Yep, rinse and repeat until the end of time.
All right, well, here we go. Faceoff won by Kennesaw. Back to Gagne. A shot put on goal. And a rebound in front attempt as multiple Chargers lay down on the ice to try to help Reichel on the goal. And looks like it is frozen by somebody. I don't know if it was Reichel.
I can't believe it.
Looked like Werzakowski just laid down and was almost spooning his goaltender to try to form a brick wall of Chargers.
Are you sure he wasn't just trying to keep warm?
Oh, I hate you.
You think the goaltender was like dibs on the little spoon? Andrews put down his microphone, so I'll be taking the play-by-play. Gagne, high point now. Skating over to the far side. Puts a shot on goal, redirected by Tisdale, but just wide.
All right, I'm back after that moment of depression.
Welcome back, Andrew. It's good to have you.
2:25 to go in the second period. Score still the same as the Chargers successfully kill off that power play, but not before a plethora of shots by the Owls.
Plethora, good word.
Thank you. Aaron Tisdale behind the goaltender. Wraparound pass to Barnett is stopped by a wall of Chargers. Attempted shot by Barnett. Rebound by Moran. It's stopped and eventually put in.
Oh, and they're waving it off. They're waving the goal off.
This is the second time, one in each game, that a goal for the Owls has been waved off.
I can't believe it. They're waving the goal off. This is unbelievable.
I need a replay.
I want an instant replay, please. That was, oh my goodness. If that was actually a save,
that was incredible.
That was one of the best saves I've ever seen.
Ryan Moran thought he had a goal, and oh my God, was that close.
My golly gee goodness.
Aaron Tisdale coming in for this faceoff. Wins it back over to Bright. Long-range wrist shot put wide right of the cage and sent all into possession of the Chargers. Long pass is stopped by the stick of Tisdale, goes 5-hole on the defender, and over to Barnett. Barnett shoves off a check. Stick goes flying in the KSU zone, and a man is down. It is Frank. He tried to check Barnett, and Barnett dodged it, and it looks like he ran head-on into the boards, and he's down on the ice. Hope he's okay.
So, Andrew.
Yes.
If you could have any superpower,
we're not doing this during
what would it be? What would it be? Invisibility? Super speed? Ability to read people's minds? That's what I would do.
Well, I know that's what you would do.
I like to read people's minds. What do you do?
Maybe be able to talk without flubbing a word.
That would be...
That'd be very helpful.
That'd be astounding. I don't think Superman himself could do that. Then again, I don't think he... can he read people's minds? Can Superman read people's minds, Andrew?
No.
What if... All right, how about this? Let me pose something to you here. You could read people's minds, okay? But they knew when you were reading their mind. Like it tickled their insides.
I don't know. Because he'd be giving it away. What's the point if he can do it if they know?
Well, I mean, but who... Like, if you're in a crowded place, who's going to be the guy reading your mind, right?
The one guy that's known to read minds.
What if you didn't tell anyone? What if you just kind of kept that information to yourself?
You'd probably figure it out.
You just think you have like a... My brain itches. Right?
My brain itches?
So you wouldn't do that if you could read minds, but the person whose mind you're reading would know?
I don't know.
They wouldn't know it was you. They would just know that they were having their mind read.
I like being discreet. Eventually, if they figured it out, it'd be useless.
Not really. Because you could still, read people's minds, but...
Once again, if anybody is joining back in, Bryce Frank of the Chargers ran headfirst into the boards after missing a check on Barnett. And after a long while, gets up and skates back to the bench under his own power. That's always nice to see.
Good for him. I'm glad he's all right. And we can get underway with some more hockey.
That was head first into the board, so I was immediately thinking concussion. But
yeah, hopefully
it looks like, he skated rather quickly to the bench, so hopefully he's all right. I don't think he'll be returning to the game, but we will let you know if he does.
So that's a no on the mind reading?
That's a yes if I can do it discreetly.
Well, you can do it as discreetly as you want. Again, they don't know it's you that's reading their mind. They just know that they're having their mind read.
We'll pick up this conversation with the intermission, Matt.
Sounds good to me.
Face-off won by the Owls, and it's Berezinski that goes back to the blue line in his own zone. Almost turned over, but no, it's Spicinski at neutral ice. Drew Spicinski with 1:40 left to go in the second period. An off-angle shot on Reichel is turned aside and eventually set around the boards for Spicinski. Spicinski tried to kick it to himself, was a bit too far, as now the Chargers move up ice before it's stopped by Bright and sent immediately back into their own zone. Around the boards. A check shrugged off there, and it's Evan Deer in the trapezoid. Centering pass to Berezinski, lets one go, and it goes wide right. And now Evan Deer tried to pass around the boards, but it's stopped by the Chargers, and eventually cleared and controlled by Bright. Bright tried to give it to Spicinski, but he wasn't ready for it, and now the Chargers move in. Good piece of stick work there by Berezinski, as now Deer has it. Deer moving up ice. Across the blue line, a slap shot on goal is stopped by the chest of Reichel once again.
55.5 seconds remaining here in this second period of play.
It's a lot of fives.
Awful lot of fives. It's the second period. The score is 2-1. 2 plus 1 plus 2. 5. Illuminati.
Triangles everywhere, Matt.
It's the Illuminati. Aliens exist.
Now, before you get all conspiracy on me, I'm going to go back to the game. Ian McDonald winning the face-off. To Vandekerkhoff, back to McDonald. McDonald, down in the corner, sends it over to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff to the point for Gagne. Gagne off the boards to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff and Gagne is playing catch as Gagne moves in. A shot is sticked away there by Reichel and sent to the corner. Glove down by Testino. Puts an off-angle shot on goal. Stopped by the shoulder of Reichel. In front, cannot freeze it, and now it is sent back out of the zone. And West Davis will retrieve.
25 seconds left to go here. If Kennesaw State wants to extend this lead, they got to do it quickly.
West Davis now. Attempted pass is broken up by one of the Chargers, and now it's up to McLeod. McLeod, Gagne's back. A shot put on goal, stonewalled by Luke Thurston, and eventually gathered by Kappa and Wierzakowski. McLeod to Wierzakowski is stopped by Luke Thurston, and now it's Gagne letting time expire. And that will do it. For the second period of action, score is 2-1 in Kennesaw's favor, and we will head to the third period. This time there will be no man advantages when the period starts, just a fresh 5-on-5.
And I'll tell you what, Andrew, the UAH Chargers are going to have to make some adjustments here between this second and third period if they want any chance of getting back into this one, because it has been domination by Kennesaw State thus far in the offensive zone. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We will be back momentarily after this intermission for the third and final period of action here from the Marietta Ice Center for this weekend. Kennesaw State Owls up 2-1. Welcome back, everyone, to the Marietta Ice Center here in Marietta, Georgia, for the third and final period of play in the second game of the two-game series between the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers and your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls. Play has just commenced here, with Kennesaw State holding on just barely to a one-goal lead. Andrew, why don't you take it right away?
You know, Matt, it'll be my pleasure.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoy this. I'm
I
glad
do.
because I'm having a grand old time,
I am
buddy.
too. This time it's Wierzakowski back in the UAH zone, and now it's Bright with possession. Bright behind the goaltender. Attempted centering pass is broken up, and it goes to Gagne. Fans on a wrist shot. It's collected by Spicinski, who throws an even harder shot on goal. Spicinski comes over to gather. Drew Spicinski. Around the boards, ref got in the way. Backhanded pass across the blue paint, and it's sent back into neutralized territory where Tristan Gagne will gather. 19-13 left to go in the third period, and this time it goes all the way back to the UAH zone, and they will hold on to it. It is Glenn. Gets poke checked there by Davis, and over to Horton, but it's controlled by Testino instead. Testino, looking for a redirect from McDonald, sends to the corner for Glenn. Vandenkerkhoff fakes the check, makes Glenn lose the puck, and now it's Berezinski to Testino. Testino to Vandenkerkhoff. Vandenkerkhoff is stripped of the puck by Brownbridge, but it pops way up in the air and over the glass, where a nice friendly gentleman in a UAH jacket throws it back onto the ice.
Offensive zone face-offs. You better get comfortable, Andrew, because it's going to happen all over again, it seems.
Absolutely. It's Ian McDonald versus Frank Hayes back on the ice after that collision with the boards.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That is surprising.
Testino now, centering pass a bit behind McDonald, and now it is Frank moving up the ice. Shrugged off of the puck there. This time it's Berezinski back to Vandenkerkhoff. Vandenkerkhoff off the boards to McDonald. McDonald cannot make a play on it, so it goes back to the KSU zone where it will be tapped on forward by Berezinski. Frank with the puck. Gets checked down by Berezinski and now goes to his brother, the other Berezinski, behind Luke Thurston. Berezinski. Long pass up to Testino off of the stick, so it'll be no icing, as this time it's controlled by the Chargers. McDonald. Centering pass, controlled by Vandenkerkhoff. Gives it on back behind the net to McDonald. A centering pass for Testino, a bit out of his reach. And now it's McDonald in the left side circle. To Vandenkerkhoff, center ice, shot off the shoulder of Reichel. McDonald stops on the dime, looking for a man to pass it to. Off-angle shot there, nearly snuck one past Reichel. It's McDonald again. McDonald going end-to-end behind the cage. Off the back of the cage is Testino and back on to McDonald. McDonald still in the trapezoid, waiting patiently. Ian McDonald off of a stick of Glenn, sent all the way back into KSU zone where Thurston will control. Thurston out to Berezinski. Both teams getting some fresh legs on the ice. Berezinski waiting patiently. Up ice to McDonald. It's picked off, but not before Hayes says otherwise. Hayes goes 5-hole on a defender and throws it the length of the ice back into UAH's zone. And Moran comes in. Moran, unable to play it, goes to Tisdale. Off the boards. Hayes will chase this one down, but not before Bright gets there first. Sent back in on goal by Bright. And this time, it's Kinney behind Reichel. Off the cage to himself, nearly stripped of the puck there was Kinney, but instead it's now Bright back to Kinney. And Tisdale almost strips him. Goes through this time to Gagne. Tristan Gagne in the corner. By himself, off the boards, attempted to clear, but it goes to Wierzakowski, and instead back to Gagne. Gagne over to Bright behind Luke Thurston. Bright up the boards to Hayes. Off of his stick, a slap shot punched away there by Luke Thurston. He was ready for that one the whole way.
Good look there from Luke Thurston, able to punch that one away with the stick hand. Had a lot of open real estate to shoot that puck on that side of the net, but Luke Thurston shuts him down.
I wasn't worried. I mean, I was a little worried.
Nah, not even a little bit.
Bright moving up ice. Crosses the blue line. Sends one on goal. Stopped down by Reichel. And out of the zone is controlled by Gagne, who blasted on back in around the boards. Tristan Gagne. Still on the ice as Kennesaw gets some fresh men out there, and it's Spicinski now. Drew Spicinski shrugs off a check, still with possession, fighting for control now against Wierzakowski. Back over to Bright to Deer. A shot off of the stick of Kappa. Bright with the redirect, and it's gloved down and frozen by Reichel.
And an offensive zone faceoff. Sound like a broken record.
Wonder how many times we said that today.
So
Well, between today and yesterday,
I'm going to make a super cut, just like a whole big edit of nothing
offensive
but
zone
us saying-
face-off for about 3 hours.
It's going to be longer than both games. It's going to be weird. It's like a quantum offensive zone faceoff.
Matt getting sciencey on me as Kennesaw wins the faceoff to Davis. Davis a shot on goal, frozen by Reichel. And Matt?
Face-off in the offensive zone.
There it is. It's still happening. This time it's Drew Spicinski on the face-off, facing off against McLeod. Chargers win this one. Spicinski rushes to it and disrupts it, gives it on over to Deer. Deer, backhanded shot, stopped cold by Horton, and now on over to Jurensic. The scrum in the corner is controlled by Berezinski, who tries to get it over to Wes Davis, but is controlled by Spicinski instead. Spicinski around the boards to Bright in the trapezoid. Bright, waiting patiently, twisted on back to Evan Deer, back to Bright. Bright feathers one through to nobody on that side. That would have been a great attempt if someone was waiting. And it gets sent up the neutralized territory and back to Berezinski, who waits patiently in KSU's zone. Bright shrugs off a check. Back over to control of Davis. Davis lobs one up ice into the corner for Ian McDonald. McDonald spins back around, looking for someone to give it to in front. On over to a streaking Testino. Testino puts one on goal, stopped by Reichel. And McDonald with a puck bouncing in the air. His stick goes right underneath it and cannot put a rebound on goal. And now it's controlled by the Chargers, but kept in play by Berezinski. Off of a skate, and now it's McLeod on a breakaway. McLeod with some defenders back, puts one on goal, and it's stopped by Luke Thurston and launched about 20 feet in the air, but not out of play and controlled by Wes Davis. Davis throws it out to McDonald. McDonald sends it on through to the UAH zone. Alabama Huntsville now. This time it's Werzakowski. Twists one around, and it's stopped and almost stolen there, but it's Nobrega that has it. Testino with control to Vanderkerkhoff, but it's stripped again, this time by Frank. Off the skate of Vanderkerkhoff, sent back to the corner. The referee gets in the way of Ian McDonald. He's wearing a UAH jersey. I didn't know that was possible. In front, Testino couldn't play it in time this time because it's sent all the way back to the KSU zone for Berezinski. Berezinski plays it up and into the mesh, and that will be a face-off in Kennesaw's zone.
Is it a defensive zone face-off?
That's rare. 14:02 left to go in the third period. Score is still the same, and this time it will be Ian McDonald, I believe, coming in for the face-off. Squaring off against McLeod for the Chargers.
Play some of that Justin Timberlake right now. I like it.
McDonald wins this one cleanly. Back to Berezinski, who throws it up into the mesh once again for another face-off. He's trying to play some basketball. Just trying to throw it into a net.
Nice. Nice one, dude. Do you not also throw it into a net in hockey? You do.
Yeah, you do.
What about soccer?
But you don't lob it
you don't
20
throw
feet
it.
in the air to throw it in hockey. Unless
You
you're trying to
never
just
know.
throw it over top of the goalie from center ice.
You never know. And we have a delayed penalty here, I believe.
Yes. And this one.
High
Who's it on, Matt?
stick.
Who's it on?
Let's find out. Perhaps University of Alabama Huntsville for high stickin'.
Yes, that one is
That
on
is Jackson
Wilhoit.
Wilhoit. Nice pronunciation there. First try.
Thank you.
Jackson Wilhoit goes to the box for 2 minutes of Kennesaw State man advantage. If they want to extend their lead, Andrew, now is a perfect opportunity to do so.
Drew Spicinski comes in for this face-off against McLeod. And it goes over to Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale back taps it to Berezinski, who has it on the high point. Berezinski sends a slap shot towards Reichel and in and out of the glove and over to the corner. Off-angle shot off the outside of the cage twice by Tisdale and over into possession of Spicinski, but back to Tisdale. Tisdale up ice to Gagne. The right side point, Tristan Gagne. Waiting patiently to Testino and lets a shot go, and it goes off of the skate of Werzakowski into the possession of Frank. Frank moves up ice, tries to clear, and does, and it's Spicinski that gets back in time with 1:30 to go on the power play and 13:19 to go in the third period. Spicinski overskates it off the glass to Berezinski, but it's tipped out by McLeod and controlled by McLeod on a breakaway. McLeod puts one on goal, stopped. Is it stopped? Luke Thurston with the breakaway save. What a man he is, Luke Thurston.
Luke the Duke Thurston is back, Andrew, when he has to make the saves. He hasn't had to make many in the last 5 games or so. But when he has to, oh boy, he puts on a show.
With class, Matt. He does it with class.
Like a
Effortless.
doctor. Like a doctor.
1:15 to go on the power play as KSU wins this face-off, and it's tapped along back to Vanderkerkhoff. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff, waiting ever so patiently, gives it over to Ian McDonald. McDonald Up ice, right side circle. Stops on a dime, twists around back, gives it to Wes Davis. Davis already with a goal in the game, gives it on over to Deer. Deer across ice to Vanderkerkhoff. A shot tipped in front by Deer goes wide right. Good play there by KSU, just couldn't get the right angle on it as it's unable to be cleared by the Chargers and gives it on to Deer. Deer down to McDonald. In the trapezoid is Ian McDonald. Kinney and Deer tangled up in front of the net, both sitting down on the ice, and now it's Vanderkerkhoff. Pass over to McDonald, and it's shot just wide left and blasted around up, but not out of the zone. Wes Davis to Vanderkerkhoff off of his skates, controls it back to the corner for McDonald. McLeod loses an edge, tipped in front twice, 3 times, and not into the net as it's fought off there. And shot again, this time by Vanderkerkhoff absolutely rips one past the right post. And now it's Vanderkerkhoff at the point. Passed over, tipped by Wes Davis, and over to McDonald in the corner. Ian McDonald to Vanderkerkhoff, 5 seconds to go on the power play. Another shot tipped up and out of play by, I think that was McLeod or Kappa, one of those two.
My goodness, Andrew, some fantastic chances here with 2 seconds remaining in this power play for Kennesaw State University. What? The power of lays. And 11:54 remaining in this final period of play.
Aaron Tisdale coming in for the faceoff. The ref put a little extra something on that puck drop as it bounced about twice before it ended up being one. Pass thrown up to Max Hayes. Off of his stick back into the Chargers zone. This time it's Horton controlling behind Reichel. Puck sent all the way up, touched by nobody back into the KSU zone. Tisdale chases it down. 11:32 left to go in the third period. Puck sent up to Barnett. Barnett over the blue line. A pass gets laid out there by Warzakowski and over to Horton. Intercepted by Tisdale. And he tried to check, and we have an injury. This time it is Barnett that's down on the ice. I'll tell you, Warzakowski, I remember he tried to check Aaron Tisdale earlier in the game, and Tisdale just absolutely shut him down. So he was looking for someone to check, and he found Aaron Barnett and just laid him out in the middle of the ice.
Barnett back up under his own power. Looks like he may or may not have just had the wind knocked out of him there. Hopefully he will be all right, and hopefully he can return by the end of this game.
We will see. 11:19 to go in the third period. Score is still the same as when we left it in the second period. And we will have a face-off as Richardson for the Chargers almost falls down.
Nice call out.
That was
Didn't
funny.
need to do that.
Well, I mean, if he looks like me on the ice, I'm going to say it.
All right, fair play.
Horton now controls behind the goaltender, stopped by the skate of Testino. A centering pass in front.
Would you like me to take over?
No.
Dying Andrew Leonard.
Something was in my throat. I'm sorry. Barazinski over to McDonald. McDonald, the right side circle, moves in by himself. Ian McDonald back on the trapezoid. He loves waiting behind the net, and he tries to find someone in front. A feathering pass over to Barazinski, and it's fought off and thrown back behind the net. This time it's Warzakowski controlling. Richardson. Up this time, and inside of the KSU zone, shrugged off of the puck there by Bright. And Barazinski out of his reach, but it's controlled by the Chargers nonetheless. Gets bumped outside of the zone. Now it's Vanderkerkhoff pressing up. Pass off the boards, and the Chargers still have it. Up to neutral ice, Vanderkerkhoff with the steal. Here comes Ian McDonald. Onside is Vanderkerkhoff. A shot on goal, stopped by Reichel and frozen for Matt. What is this?
It's an offensive zone faceoff. Wouldn't you know it?
Indeed it is.
I'll tell you what, we would love to come to Ole Miss next weekend. I think we have something going on next weekend. There is not a Kennesaw State hockey game, luckily, so we would be free if I believe we didn't have some other prior engagement. I'll tell you what, though. Have one of the, if you're able to, I would say have one of the coaches get in contact with us, and we can discuss any possibility of doing that. We'll see.
If we're not already busy, and this time it's Spysinski in neutral ice.
If we have nothing else going on, why the heck not? It's some free hockey to watch.
Spysinski in the trapezoid. Feathers a pass in front, and this time it's stopped before it can reach the goaltender. It's Glenn that has it. Glove down there, and it's the Chargers that push into the KSU zone for an offside. Some extra shoving there between Kappa and Deer. Gagne comes over with all of that size saying, do you really want to do this? And stoppage in play. 9:47 to go in the third period. Score still 2-1.
Starting to get a little chippy here towards the end of the game. we go. 9:47 remaining, and tensions ratcheting ever further.
It's only a 1-goal lead. Anything can happen. This time it's Drew Spicinski coming in for the faceoff.
Anything's possible, J.R. Smith.
We're not doing that. Brownbridge sends it on through to the corner of KSU zone for Tristan Gagne. He touches the puck. Thought it was going to be an icing, but he was denied by the referee. And now it is Berezinski that has it. Berezinski in the trapezoid behind his goaltender Luke Thurston. This Berezinski is Justin Berezinski. For those of you playing along at home. Still waiting behind Luke Thurston, just absolutely draining the clock. Hands off to Evan Deere. And almost a turnover there, but it ends up on the stick of Gagne. A pass scorching up the ice, and it's controlled by Spicinski. Spicinski around the right side circle, attempts a shot, broken up there by Brownbridge, and wraparound attempt to Berezinski. Shot on goal, stopped by Reichel. Attempt to be punched in, it's Mason Bright in front. Rebounds everywhere. Berezinski with a shot. Evan Deere goes around to collect. Evan Deere in the corner, fighting with Drensick. Evan Deere tries to win this battle. It's him versus two Chargers, and he gets shoved off the puck, and we have a check by Bright.
And that's going to be a cross-checking, I believe. Needed to send a message there, I believe, was Mitchell Bright.
Is he going to the box?
For
no penalty?
Oh, there he goes.
There he goes. Yep, Mitchell Bright in the box. That is. Nope, we have offsetting penalties for. That is, I believe, yes, that is Drensick and Mitchell Bright, respectively, for each team. That will be 2 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey. We love watching that. 8:50 to go in the third period. KSU still with the 1-goal lead.
Offensive zone faceoff for Kennesaw State. Once again, this time they're playing that old school hockey, the hockey that they have been so comfortable playing this entire season, 4-on-4 hockey.
Ian McDonald coming in for the faceoff against McLeod. McDonald wins it cleanly back to West Davis to Berezinski. Berezinski down to Vanderkerkhoff. Looking for a friend is Vanderkerkhoff, and he spins around the boards for McDonald. McDonald fakes a centering pass, then gives it to Vanderkerkhoff, just a bit off target as Vanderkerkhoff sends it to the point for Berezinski. Fakes a slap shot as Berezinski, and back to McDonald. McDonald to Vanderkerkhoff. Attempted for back to McDonald. The old give and go works like a charm, but it was broken up by the Chargers. Puck sent up and into the neutralized territory, and it's Berezinski that tries to send it on back to Vanderkerkhoff, but to no avail as it's back for an icing. 8:16 to go in the third, a minute 27 to go on this offsetting penalties for each team, and we will have an offensive zone faceoff for Alabama Huntsville. McLeod versus McDonald. We've seen this matchup in the faceoff circle a bunch tonight. Or today, wherever you're watching, from whatever time zone you're in. And this time it's sent over to Davis. Davis, over the blue line, attempted for McDonald, just a bit out of his reach. No icing as McDonald gets there first. McDonald attempting to play, but there's 4 Chargers and only 1 Ian McDonald. And it's sent around the board for Vanderkerkhoff. Vanderkerkhoff fans on a shot, and it is Kinney that takes it up. Kinney over to McLeod. 2-on-1, but West Davis gets back. Bumped off of the puck by Gagne. Great check there by Tristan Gagne. Shoveled down there by a stick, and it's Vanderkerkhoff moving up ice. Back taps to West Davis. Davis to Vanderkerkhoff. Again back to Davis. Puts a shot on goal, and it's stopped by Reichel.
Great puck movement there from Kennesaw State. They tried to hit Reichel with the old razzle-dazzle, but not quite working as Reichel comes up with yet another save.
Flying across the goal crease there was Alex Reichel. 49 seconds to go in 4-on-4 hockey. 7:39 to go in the third period, as it is Aaron Tisdale squaring off against Colton Coppa in the faceoff circle. Testino tries to gather it. It's sent on back to Gagne and over to Testino once again. Testino using the ref as a shield and goes on back behind the goal crease. Stuff attempt there by Testino is broken up in his skates, and it is controlled by the Chargers. Stolen by Testino, sent on back into the zone. Tisdale trying to move in. Aaron Tisdale gathers, goes 5-hole on a defender.
We will have a penalty.
Tripping?
Yeah, delayed penalty here against the Chargers for tripping.
Luke Thurston goes to the bench, and it's still controlled by KSU.
That's incredible.
Evan Deere now back taps to Gagne, who feathers it on over to Testino. Testino waiting patiently. A shot on goal hits Reichel, and it's thrown to the corner. Evan Deere. Deere takes a check. It's finally touched by the Chargers, and with 3 seconds to go on the 4-on-4 play, and I don't remember. That is who's in the box for them, Matt?
Currently, I believe it's Drenzik.
Yeah, Drenzik gets a friend in the box. This time it's Wojciechowski.
Indeed.
So KSU will have the one-man advantage for a fresh 2 minutes with 6:53 to go in the third period. Ian McDonald coming in for the face-off, squaring off against McLeod again, and it's won by the Chargers. Throwing the length of the ice and smacked down into the ice by Vandekerkhoff, and this time it is Vandekerkhoff behind Luke Thurston. Having a conversation with his goaltender was Luke Thurston, is Vandekerkhoff, and now Vandekerkhoff moves up the center of the ice. Vandekerkhoff stops on a dime, waits patiently, gives it on over to Wes Davis off of his own skate. Davis pulls it on down to McDonald. McDonald around the goaltender. Ian McDonald throws it over to Evan Deere. Deere waiting patiently in the corner, goes on back to the point, and throws a shot off the pipe, and it's controlled by Ian McDonald.
You can hear that ring of destruction, of doom, Andrew. Inches away from being another goal from Kennesaw State. It's heart-wrenching.
Jeremy Vandekerkhoff throws an attempt, and it is Kinney that sacrifices the body to block that one as a pass goes to Wes Davis. Davis, shot on goal, kicked aside by McLeod, and sent over to the corner for Davis once again. 1 minute flat left to go on the power play. Wes Davis avoids a poke check, gives it to Deere. Deere feathers a pass through, and it's stopped and thrown to the ankles of the referee this time. And it's thrown to Wes Davis, who puts another shot on goal, and it's caught and held and frozen by Alex Reichel. 49 seconds to go in the power play. 5:42 to go in the third period. Still the precious one-goal lead that KSU has accrued over the course of this game. And we'll have another offensive zone faceoff for KSU.
Oh, my goodness.
Spysinski on the faceoff, wins it, and throws it on behind the goaltender. A stuff attempt by Drew Spysinski is stonewalled by Reichel. Tisdale on the corner. Aaron Tisdale throws it on up across ice to Gagne. Dangerous pass, but it got there anyway. A long shot off the skate of Reichel. Gagne, the high point. Backhands it over to Berezinski. Berezinski in the circle to Gagne. A hard slap shot, and is stopped held by Reichel.
I'll tell you what, Gagne can absolutely rip those slap shots from the high point. And the fact that Reichel has been able to shut that down every single time is astounding.
5:14 to go in the third period. 21 seconds on this KSU power play as Spysinski and McLeod face off in the face-off circle. This time it's Berezinski. Berezinski and Tisdale having a conversation, and it goes on over to Spysinski. Spysinski down to Testino, feathers it on back to Spysinski, and it's controlled by the Chargers. The Chargers pushing up ice with 5 seconds to go on the power play. A shot off the shins of Berezinski as Spysinski slides into wall off a Charger. Berezinski behind Luke Thurston. The power play expires. We're back to full strength hockey as it's thrown to the boards and collected by Gagne. Gagne off the boards again, this time to Testino at neutral ice. Through the legs over to Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale goes on around the circle. Aaron Tisdale behind the goaltender gets taken down to the ice, and Max Hayes comes over. Thrown to the point and kept in the zone by Berezinski.
Wow.
Berezinski to Gagne. No, that is to Hayes. Tisdale now loses control of the puck, and it's the Chargers that escape with it. This time it's Kappa. Moving up the ice, a shot on Luke Thurston is fought off and sent to the corner by Hayes. Moran around the boards. Over to Hayes. Waiting behind Luke Thurston is Max Hayes, and he flips it on up into the neutral zone and down to the other end of the ice for an icing.
It's coming all the way back, Andrew, for an offensive zone faceoff, but not for who you think. It's for University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers.
Huh. Different. Face off now between Tisdale and McLeod. And it's Tisdale that wins it. Berezinski blasts one off the glass, nearly broke a panel there, as now it's Gagne. Gagne up to Hayes. Hayes chases all the way back into the UAH zone with 3:50 to go in the third period. Hayes holding on for dear life, trying to get control of that puck, and it goes around the boards in the possession of Moran. Stoppage in play. Not sure what that's for.
He's gotten somebody for something here. That might be Max Hayes.
And he was holding him, so Hayes goes to the box for 2 minutes, and that will bring us down to 1:47 before we resume full-strength hockey, unless a penalty changes that.
Yes, indeed, Andrew. Fresh 2 minutes for University of Alabama Huntsville. It is crunch time officially for them. If they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to do it, and they're going to have to do it right now. 3:47 remaining.
McDonald comes in for the face-off circle and wins it. It goes to Bright. Bright cannot clear it. Hits the body of Werzakowski off the shins of McDonald and over to Berezinski. Set the length of the ice and nearly on goal there by Vanderkerkhoff. That had some steam on it as McDonald almost plays the puck with Reichel out of his net, but it gets sent up into the mesh for an offensive zone faceoff for KSU once again.
And Kennesaw State not leaving well enough alone with an offensive zone faceoff while shorthanded.
$1:44 to go on the power play now, and it's Chargers that come out with the faceoff.
Also, that is hilarious. Their opposing team is on a power play, and they were playing Fight the Power as the music. I like that.
Good job, DJ. Vanderkerkhoff with the interception. Flops it on back to the UAH zone to kill some more time. And it's Werzakowski coming in, but McDonald is shielded off there by Drensick. Nobrega now with the puck. Sends it on over to Werzakowski as the Chargers move up ice, and it's tipped down by McDonald. McDonald cannot clear it, and that is offsides by Werzakowski. 2:57 to go in the third period, 1:11 to go on the power play. Still the one-goal lead that we've seen for so long.
Absolutely, Andrew. This lead has held since, halfway through the second? Something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Drew Spysinski coming in for the face-off circle.
And I believe a timeout is called here.
Yes, timeout by the Chargers.
Strategy time. It's time to play that chess. That
maybe seeing if they want to go empty net.
That chess. That backgammon. That
any other board games you want?
Trouble.
Monopoly?
Sorry.
What else?
Chutes and Ladders.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Battleship.
That's all about strategy. Anything else you got for me?
Yeah, let me think here. Life.
Classic.
Classic
Just
game.
think of the game section in Walmart.
Game takes forever.
This.
Uno.
Yes, that one takes even longer.
Dose, the sequel to Uno.
Shut up.
What? That's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes, Dose is the official sequel to Uno. It's a real
don't
thing.
believe you.
Look it up. Look up the Dose card game.
You will show me this game after this game.
I'm pulling it up right now.
No, we are broadcasting.
It's time
Do
out.
not do this. No, they're back on the ice.
Just watch. Dose card game.
Oh, my God, it's real.
Yes. It's the real official Uno sequel.
Okay, well, now the face-off. It is Spysinski coming in. Wins it back to Davis. Davis throws it into a body of a Charger, and it cannot be cleared. Check to the glass there by Spysinski with a minute flat to go on the power play. It's cleared once again by KSU. Spysinski making his way up the ice, and it's back tapped along for Werzakowski for the Chargers. Attempted poke check there by Bright is skated around, and this time it's Werzakowski moving up ice. A shot put on Thurston and sticked aside to the corner. Spysinski with another hard check, and this time it is fought for in the corner. Bright and Spysinski in on the scrum, and we have a stoppage in play. There's some mesh in the way. I can't really see what's going on.
I couldn't tell you, Andrew.
I think someone sat on the puck.
Mitchell Bright, perhaps going to the box?
Yeah. Mitchell Bright
Wow.
gets into the box, and yeah, there will be a two-man advantage for the next 36 seconds for the Chargers. And when that expires, they will have a one-man advantage for Matt. Do the math.
1 minute 24.
There it is. That's why you're here.
Thanks, buddy. Alrighty. Kennesaw State needs to get that defense up and ready because a two-man advantage for the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers is inbound.
This is crunch time.
It is crunch time. They need to
Captain
score
crunch
here.
time,
This
Matt.
is literally now or never.
Ian McDonald on the face-off this time. Only 3 men out for KSU. It is Wes Davis, Tristan Gagne, and Ian McDonald.
Oof.
Gagne has it. Slaps it all the way back and out of the zone. McDonald, using his speed, rushes up the ice, but Reichel gets there first. Drensick now with the puck. Over the blue line. 24 seconds to go on the two-man advantage. It's over the blue line now for the Chargers. Almost loses control and shoved to the glass there. It is Gagne. A shot on goal. Moved aside there by Luke Thurston, and it's Gagne now behind the net. Wes Davis goes to gather it, and Gagne rushing to try to clear, and does. Tristan Gagne sacrificing the body to clear the puck. And the first penalty will expire. KSU gets a man back, but still down a man.
Minute and 22 seconds remaining in this power play, and only a minute 40 remaining in the game.
It's coming down to the wire as it's cleared, yes, off of the glove. And Vandekerkhoff up ice. Vandekerkhoff with a breakaway. Moving it on goal. Stuffed by Reichel. Beautiful move by Jeremy Vandekerkhoff. Just could not elevate the puck enough. And it's stonewalled again. That's his second breakaway of the night, Jeremy Vandekerkhoff, and both have been shut down by the goaltender Alex Reichel.
Reichel is just killing it thus far this game, Andrew. Only letting up 2 difficult goals.
2 difficult goals, but that's still more than Thurston allowed. That's why we're in the lead.
Hey, you already know.
The boy Luke Thurston.
The boy in the net.
John Testino on the faceoff. Wins it over to Vandekerkhoff. A minute 5 to go on the power play for Alabama Huntsville as Warzakowski has it in the trapezoid. Nearly overskates it, but moves it up ice to Horton. Horton across the blue line, and now it's Bright. Bright in control. Throws it the length of the ice again to the corner of the UAH zone to kill even more time. 45 seconds to go on the penalty. A minute 6 to go in the game. Horton behind the goaltender. Vandekerkhoff giving chase. Nearly a turnover in their own zone, and this time it's Berezinski that has it. Berezinski throws it up for another clear to kill even more time. 33 seconds to go.
Alabama Huntsville thus far this game has had a very difficult time getting the puck into the offensive zone.
Especially on the power play. KSU's been fantastic on the penalty kill.
Unbelievable.
Thrown around the boards since Vandekerkhoff trying to wall him off, but cannot do it. A centering pass and taken down is Berezinski. Berezinski with a great check there to stop. That was almost a certain goal as Thurston didn't see the puck. Reichel comes back to play this puck. 8 seconds to go on the power play. 28 to go in the game. Coming down to the wire, as we've said about 3 times so far, and it goes to Berezinski. Berezinski blasts one back to neutral ice and all the way back to UAH zone, and this time it's Bright going down, so it won't be an icing. 15 seconds to go in the game. Turnover, Deer in front, a shot goes wide. Trying to put the icing on the cake, it's Spysinski. Spysinski loses control. 7 seconds to go, a shot off the stick of Horton. In front of stuff attempt by Bright is turned aside by Reichel and thrown to neutral ice, and that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. A thrilling end to this game. KSU takes the series 2-0. This game ended 2-1 in KSU's favor.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope it was as enjoyable for you as it was for us. As per the usual, this has been Matt Leonard on the color, Andrew Leonard on the play-by-play. Together we are the Super Gamecast brothers.
Or so we're told.
Or so we're allegedly. Allegedly. Kennesaw State playing a lockdown, amazing game today in the offensive zone. Spent probably 80% of the entire game in the offensive zone. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We really appreciate it. If you are signed into Twitch, go ahead and give us a follow for the last couple games of this season for Kennesaw State. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of the month, rest of the year. We will.
A little early to be saying rest of the year, Matt.
I mean,
we're still in January.
Exactly. So that means it's even more a great time you should have. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll be back not next week because there's no hockey for us for Kennesaw State next week. But
I think they have a away game.
The week after that.
Kennesaw has an away game, so follow KSU Hockey on Twitter for that update.
Indeed. And we'll be back 2 weeks from now with some Kennesaw State hockey action. Good evening, everyone.